Hello everyone, this is my Best of E3 2011 video. Now, originally I was going to do like a separate video for each day of E3, but after the first 2 days, which was the Microsoft conference, the Sony conference, and the Nintendo conference, there wasn't really a lot other than trailers for upcoming games, a little bit of gameplay footage, and talking about certain games in depth. But it wasn't really enough to warrant, a video for each day. So instead I'll just do a Best of E3 2011, where I'll talk about a few of the games that I hadn't mentioned in my first 2 videos, and as well as talk about who won at E3 and who didn't. So I'll talk about 3 games that I hadn't mentioned last time. One of them would be Sonic Generations, which is coming out on all platforms and the 3DS. And what this game is that you get to play as Sonic, the new Sonic that we've been playing for the past few years, as well as the old school Sonic from, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, and the new Sonic 4 that just came out last year, I believe. So there's actually 2 Sonics in this game. So you get to play like your 3D gameplay, and then as well as 2D platformer type of stuff. Or I guess it's still 3D, but it's, like it plays like a 2D platformer. Kind of like the new the DS games that we've been playing over the last little while. And they look really good, the old school type games, and it's just neat to play as, the little Sonic, the little cute tubby Sonic instead of the mature one for those levels. So that's one game that looks pretty good. I'll provide links for all the things I'm talking about here. And then there was the Starhawk trailer, the gameplay trailer, I guess. And I gotta say that this game looks really good. This is the successor to Warhawk, and I've never played Warhawk because I don't own a PS3 yet. Yeah, I know I should have owned one a very long time ago, but this summer I promise I am getting one, especially with all these exclusives that are coming out, and all the exclusives that have been out in the past, so I will be getting one and I will be playing all these games. But anyway, Starhawk just looks so much better than Warhawk already. I've seen lots of like lengthy actual matches of Warhawk, and now that I've seen what Starhawk can do, it just blows it out of the water already. It just seems like obviously the multiplayer is, because Warhawk only had multiplayer, Starhawk will have a single player apparently, but the emphasis will be on the multiplayer, and it just looks insane how you can just build your bases and kind of have everyone working together against like all these big machines and like I guess spaceships, but it just looks really neat, and I'm really looking forward to this game. And then the other one was the main one, which I would say is Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I think that's how you pronounce it, and it just looks like a game of the year already, and not just a game of the year candidate, but the game of the year. The graphics look amazing, the entire world looks amazing, it's huge once again, but the biggest thing I would say is how the AI for the dragons just make it so much more interesting. And even just any creatures as well. Like there was one part where one of the guys was walking around, and he was heading down this slope where there was mammoths and frost giants walking around side by side, and you could walk right beside them, and as long as you do not bother them, they'll let you be and they won't attack you. But as soon as you attack them, obviously they will start attacking. So he was just walking down and looking at them. And then eventually he did attack them, so they started attacking him. So then he was into a battle with a frost giant. And the frost giants look epic already. But anyway, so he's battling this frost giant. And then all of a sudden, in mid-battle, a dragon swoops down, picks up the frost giant, throws him into the air, and drops him. So you're like, okay, I'm not battling a frost giant anymore, I'm battling a dragon who just killed the frost giant with ease. So these dragons are apparently insane. They have their own AI, which is very random apparently. They're never in the same spot. They're always traveling, kind of. And whenever they do find you, apparently they almost always try to kill you and attack you. Most of the time, because they were saying that that's part of the storyline, so they didn't really get into that, but so sometimes you'll just be walking around, minding your own business, going on your quest, and then all of a sudden a dragon will swoop down and start attacking you. And another thing too is that you'll be battling this dragon, and then another dragon will show up, and then in the trailer that's what happened. He was battling this one dragon, kills the dragon, and then he's like taking its soul, because part of the game is that you're dragonborn, which means that you have part of a soul of a dragon inside you, so you can use some of the dragon abilities, and the more souls that you take from the dragons, the more powerful those abilities will be. Like one of them makes you run much faster, another one makes people slow down in time. There's a bunch of different things, and all of those abilities look really sweet as well. But anyway, he kills this one dragon, and then another dragon comes down and starts attacking him as well. It was just insane. So this game looks amazing, and you have to check. If you're going to only look at one thing from all of this, definitely check out the gameplay footage of Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So that's basically the main things that I had missed. There was another few others, I guess, from like Super Mario. They showed a little bit more of that. They showed some Uncharted 3. They showed a bunch of other games that we knew were coming out. Kid Icarus for the 3DS, those types of things. A little bit more of Mario Kart that I had seen, Starhawk. Anyway, so there's a bunch of stuff that they did show more in depth. But let's get into who won E3 2011. So I'll just talk about the main companies, the three main companies. Now the one that didn't is Microsoft. Halo Anniversary looks awesome. Halo 4, I'm totally pumped for it. It's just a teaser trailer, but that's enough for me for now. But that's the only redeeming qualities about the Microsoft thing. They also had a bit of Gears of War 3, but we already knew that was coming out, and it's kind of what you would expect from Gears of War 3. It's still good, but that's it. And the biggest fail was all the Kinect games. There's no game that really made me go, you know, I really want to go buy a Kinect now. Child of Eden last year was the only game that really interested me, and they didn't have any hardcore titles like that. They are implementing a lot of the Kinect games into games that we're already playing, but I don't, like, if I have the choice of playing, you know, Modern Warfare with a controller or my hands in Kinect, I'll definitely pick the controller. So that doesn't interest me at all. And there was a bunch of kids games. They showed like a Sesame Street game, and the new Spyro was like very kid oriented as well. So it doesn't seem right to show off these type of games at E3. Like obviously Sesame Street and Spyro will probably make a lot for the parents that do buy them for the kids, but do not show these type of games at E3 where there's no kids probably that would buy these. There's nobody there that's like 8 years old and can be like, oh dad, I want that. No, it's everyone that's much older, and I doubt that there's that many parents at E3 either. Show these trailers, you know, when the games are being released just on TV, and then you'll get your audience there. That's just my opinion though. So yeah, E3 for Microsoft, total fail. The only good things were like Halo and Gears of War 3. So now let's get on to the winner of E3. And the person that would be runner-up. And the thing is that they're so close. Like, I really don't know if even who I'm picking is the real winner, but because they're just so close to each other. So I did pick Sony for the winner of E3 this year, just because Nintendo was so close. Nintendo, like, you know, you had the Wii U, you had more of the 3DS, and the Wii U by itself is amazing. But the thing is that you had so much more showing in the Vita. Wii U, they were kind of showing off what it's going to be capable of, but that's it. They showed a few of the games that are coming out, but nothing big. They did announce Super Smash Bros., but it's not even in development yet, so we didn't get to see what it would look like, you know, for the Wii U or the 3DS. We did get to see, you know, Super Mario for the 3DS, and that looks amazing, which is going to be a cross of Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario 3. And it looks like it's going to be a game of the year, especially for handhelds. You know, Star Fox, you can apparently, another thing that I didn't mention in my other video is that you can, when you're playing multiplayer, the camera will take a video of yourself. So when you're like playing against somebody, instead of seeing, you know, Fox's head or Slippy's head, you'll see the person that you're actually playing against. So, you know, you'll see the videos of the people that you're playing against when you're, you know, either destroying them or they're owning you, which just adds a nice touch, I think, to multiplayer in general. And what else did we see? There was like an HD video of Zelda, but we're not sure if that's an actual game or just a teaser, like what they did a few years ago when they showed like a very mature Link versus Ganon fighting off, and then we got Wind Waker instead, which is still a good game, but we were expecting something else. So you can't get your hopes up too much just for that. But Wii U still looks amazing, and that's what Nintendo has always been good about. They're always good about like showing off some kind of new gimmick that is going to be very fun. but not so much for the hardcore audience. Like, I love playing on the Wii, you know, especially when friends are over or if I'm playing with family. Like, I still log on a ton of hours, but it's mostly, you know, when I'm in groups of people, and that's what the Wii U kind of is. I will still play single player games, but not so much hardcore titles, although a lot of hardcore titles will be joining the Wii U. But if I'm going to be buying multiple, you know, platforms, I'm not just going to play all the hardcore games on the Wii U. I'm going to play it on generally the 360 because that's where all my friends are, or whatever the next PS4 or next 360 will be. But still, Nintendo did a very good job. So let's get into why Sony won. So they announced, you know, Sly Cooper 4. They showed Starhawk, which looks amazing. And then the Uncharted 3, so all the games that we were expecting. But they also showed off the new Vita, which is the new handheld. And the Vita wins just because of the amount of games that they showed for it. It's going to be a bunch of exclusive games. You know, you have Uncharted, Golden Abyss, there's Mod Nation Race's Little Big Planet, Ruin, some Star game that I can't remember the name of, Stardust maybe, and a bunch of other games that just look super fun, and the graphics look amazing. Like this beats 3DS by far in terms of graphics, and it's touchscreen, and everything just looks so fancy. You know, Sony always does a very good job of glossing their consoles over and making them look top notch, and that's what the Vita looks like, and all the games as well. So yeah, Sony definitely wins this year. Nintendo was very close. I cannot wait for the Vita. They also said that it's going to be $250 Wi-Fi only and $300 for the 3G, which is very low for a new Sony product. So kudos to them for that. They're also creating like a 3D TV. I'm not so much excited about that, but one of the cool things about the 3D TV is that when you're playing multiplayer, instead of having a split screen, because it's 3D, player 1 will see the full screen, just his, and player 2 will see the full screen, just his as well. There's not going to be a split screen because it is 3D, and they can somehow manage to put one side, and have it your own, which is awesome. But I probably won't get that because it's only like a 24-inch TV, and I don't really care that much about 3D movies in my home because I don't want to wear the glasses, and I don't really care about that. 3DS, yeah, because it's just a handheld and you can turn it off, but yeah, not so much about that. But still, it's pretty cool. So Sony gets the nod this year, and Nintendo did a very good job as well. Microsoft not so much. So Microsoft, you really gotta kick it up next year. Maybe we'll be seeing what the next platforms will be for you know, the Xbox and the PlayStation. Hopefully, or just a bigger kick. And yeah, that's it. So talk to you later, everyone. Bye bye.